Hi.
Hello.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to 12 Days of Meditation Magic. Here we are in day 9, and today the topic is trust. And today I'm here. I'm your host, Tania, Museflower Retreat and Spa founder, and my guest host here.
Hi, Susanna, visiting practitioner at Museflower Retreat and Spa.
All right, so if you are new here, just to let you know, the 12 Days of Meditation Magic is here to help you to discover more magic in your life, and hopefully through, hi Felix,
Hi,
so on
Felix.
time.
Hi.
So it's helping you to discover more magic in your life through meditation. Hopefully, the magic here meaning to be able to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, and even from the simplest thing to we can find joy and bliss in the simplest things in our lives, and also hopefully to inspire you to try out meditation at home, maybe even a regular meditation practice, because there's so many benefits of meditation. I guess every day when the theme we talk about is really also one sort of benefit from the meditation. All right, so let's get into it. By the way, feel free to leave us comments like Felix did, and where you're saying hi from, and anything else. As we're progressing, how's the meditation for you? How did the theme of the day kind of pans out for you? Feel free to leave in the comments below, and Susanna would love to hear from you. Okay, so Susanna, trust. I know you have something prepared for us.
Yes, and I trust that I can remember everything because before letting you leading us into this beautiful meditation, I've been researching something about trust. What can we share in this time? And I found something very interesting because according to psychology, and I took some notes, so we do that. According to psychology, trust is basically the capacity to, and is also believing that the person will do as expected. That is basically the, let's say, the main definition of trust. And the development of basic trust is the first state of a psychological development that can occur or fall within the first 2 years of life. And at the same time, trust exists as an interpersonal, in our interpersonal relationships, and humans are natural predisposed to feel trust because of the neurobiological structure and activity of the human brain.
All right.
So, and of course here I'm talking also like trust towards somebody. I trust that person, and also I trust that event to happen. I trust that everything will be okay. And also I trust myself. So it's this capacity to believe that a person will do as expected, something will happen as expected. That is the definition of trust.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I know, a few days ago, we have a discussion between faith and trust. And to me, I guess simply put, faith is kind of having faith in the universe, something kind of grander, greater than us, like into the unknown. And trust, then I'll kind of say, kind of trusting myself, my intuition, like trusting that, or other people. So anyway, that's how sort of if we're going to differentiate the trust and faith. And so today's exercise is really connecting with our intuition, because as you know, intuition is our inner GPS, isn't it? The inner compass that guides us. It's the inner wisdom or inner teacher, you can say, kind of guides us in our lives, and to really kind of help us to find our purpose, to guide us on the right path. And so today's exercise.
That's why also we say, I trust my intuition.
Yes, exactly. And also that's a very good affirmation as well. If you want to practice trusting your intuition more.
Yeah,
there must be instances, I'm sure, you have a feeling that you don't know why, you can't explain it, and logic can't explain it, or you have people say gut feeling or just a sense, and you don't know why, and you did follow that intuitive like guidance, or maybe you did not, and maybe you can see how, you know, events sort of pan out with like the biggest thing to the smallest things in life. And so that's a really good way to, you know, I see intuition as like a muscle, right? So it's like working out. The more you trust with it, the practice trusting your intuition, that the better you kind of know and get better at it. So and we all born with intuition. You know, it's something that you cannot lose. It's one of the sense, you know, people say intuition, sixth sense. It's a sense that you cannot lose. Nobody can take that away from you, unless maybe you're in like a coma. That could be a different thing.
Yeah, and also the word intuition comes from, again, a Latin word, intuere, which means sort of to bring in. So it is something that is inside ourselves.
Yeah, and intuition, I think it's also the most reliable, that you can trust your intuition.
Yes, it's never wrong.
Yeah, so, you know, maybe we have our impulses. It's different than intuition. You know, your impulses, or like people say your ego, which is, you know, your thoughts, beliefs. Sometimes you may or may not be able to trust them, even though you think they're, you know, they're from you maybe. But intuition, I can see definitely that's the inner teacher, inner wisdom we can rely on. So today's exercise is more like an intuitive exercise to get in touch with the intuition, but sort of through a meditative state. And we're going to get in touch with our intuition and kind of see how our intuition speaks to us. And then, so let's get started and find a comfortable position. You can lie down for this if you like, or sitting down. And just going to use my singing bowl just for a couple of sound treatments.
Okay.
Just to get us into it. Okay, so just close your eyes now. So, sorry.
I was about with my index finger.
If you have your candle, please feel free to light it with us. If not, then we light it for you. It's here already. Okay, so getting yourself ready and comfortable now. And just close your eyes, taking a deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out through your mouth. And just getting yourself settled down now. And again, deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out through your mouth, just releasing the thoughts about the day thus far. Just for the moment now, we are putting aside all the thoughts on our daily lives, what we're going to do later, what we're going to eat later, what we're going to wear later. We just put them aside for the moment, and we can pick them up later after the session today. And on a deep breath in and a deep breath out, a big cleansing breath through your mouth today. And now slowly I'm going to ask you to draw your awareness, so shifting gears, shift your awareness to the center of the heart. And the center of the heart, that is where the energy center, or you can say heart chakra, lies. And we're just going to take a deep breath in through our heart center. And a deep breath out through our heart center again. And we just feel the attention, the awareness now dropping down into the heart. Dropping in to the heart. Now just following your natural breathing rhythm now. I'm going to ask you now to tell yourself silently a truth. So speak a truth from the bottom of your heart, an easy truth, a sentence, perhaps I love, whatever that is you love, that you know for sure 100% that is your truth. I love, and fill in the blanks. And that is 100% truth for you. Now, I want you to repeat this truth inside your heart silently. I love, fill in the blanks. And as you continue to do that silently, I'm going to start to check in with your body. How does your body feel as you tell yourself this truth? And all we're doing, we're just noticing and observing. We're just witnessing, and we're not changing anything. We're not judging or analyzing. We're just noticing. Okay, and make a mental note. How does your body feel as you tell yourself this truth from the bottom of your heart? Now we're going to check in with all our senses. So as you speak the truth to yourself, how does it feel emotionally? Does it make you feel relaxed and calm, or maybe other words you would describe that feeling? For some people, maybe they might see a color, a particular color in their mind's eye, or maybe even an image. For some people, maybe it's a sound. They can hear a sound as they speak the truth to themselves from the bottom of your heart. For some people who are even more sensitive, they might even get a sense of smell or taste as you speak truth to yourself. So keep on breathing. Just keep on noticing how your intuition is speaking to you right now. How your body is speaking to you, how your 5 senses are speaking to you as you repeat this truth. Continue to repeat this truth. I love, fill in the blanks. Just about 15 more seconds now. Just let you to tune into your intuition and just make a mental note what really jumps out for you. Take a deep breath in now. Remember, you make a mental note how it felt like for you when you speak your truth. Take a deep breath in now, and as you breathe out, a big cleansing breath. Imagine you have an eraser in your mind. We're just going to erase everything. Erase everything now, erase everything now, erase everything now. Everything back to a blank slate. And now take a deep breath in again into your heart center. And a deep breath out. Very well done. And now this time, you're going to turn your previous sentence around. So instead of I love what you said, fill in the blanks, you're going to say I hate, fill in the blanks. And you know this is 100% a lie that you're telling to yourself. 100% lie. I hate, fill in the blanks that you had before when you said you love. So I hate, fill in the blanks that you know you love. So you know this is 100% lie that you're telling to yourself. Okay, and you're going to repeat that now in your heart from the bottom of your heart. Start to say I hate, fill in the blanks. And remember, this is the 100% lie you're telling to yourself. And start to notice how your body feels. You might even feel a difference from when you're telling yourself a truth and when you're telling yourself a lie now. Maybe you get a different kind of emotion feeling. Again, we're checking in with our 5 senses again. Maybe you get a different color, a different image. You might hear different sounds, different sensation in your body, and also a different smell and taste as you continue to repeat this lie to yourself. I hate, and fill in the blanks that you know that it was the same sentence you used before when you said I love. Continue breathing. We're not going to stay here too long, don't worry. Just making mental notes and what really jumps out at you as the main difference between, when you're telling yourself this lie now versus when you were telling yourself the truth. Making a mental note, we're just observing, witnessing. We don't want to change anything or edit anything out at the moment. We're just witnessing, observing, making notes. Another 15 more seconds. Breathe. Now take a deep breath in. Into your heart, deep breath out, a big cleansing breath again. Then just erase everything again. Erase, erase, erase. We're going back to our blank slate now. Taking a deep breath in and deep breath out. Erasing everything. Bring yourself back into neutral. Connect with your heart center. Bring yourself back to the peaceful state, the calm state. And one more deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And when you're ready, bring your awareness back into your body. Bring awareness back to the space that you're in right now. And then you can slowly open your eyes. And now, if you can, sorry, I forgot to mention
Welcome back.
Welcome back. To write it down before you forget. You can click, if you're live here now, please, I'll give you a couple minutes just to grab a piece of paper. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, but whatever, you can write things down and just write down, when you tell yourself a lie, what was something that you really picked up on. Maybe, you got, how does your body feel, for example, how, maybe you pick up a color, maybe you saw an image, and then, versus, when you tell yourself a lie, what was that you feel? And then, maybe there's something that really jumps out to you. So please go ahead and do that. And I'm going to, meanwhile, while you're doing that, writing your own notes, I'm going to ask Susanna to share. How was that for you? Did you feel the difference?
Yeah, actually, I have to make a confession that instead of using the verb love and hate, I've used the verb I trust.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And of course, I trust and I distrust, and I've done this exercise in Italian, so I use the Italian version of the English verb. And I felt the difference. I really felt the difference, and which it was not big fireworks. It is a very subtle movement that happens inside, at least in my case.
Yeah.
And so the mechanism is very well working.
Yes.
And it is something that I always suggest also the people they work with me or in my sessions. Always trust that gut, trust that intuition which is also the builder of trust.
Yes.
It's also the builder of, okay, yes, I can trust my intuition and I can trust that person, I can trust those words, because I believe it's a combination of the two capacities. So that changes.
You can also use the statement that you said, like, I trust and I distrust. I love or hate, whichever, that you feel like, that you're telling yourself 100% truth and you're telling yourself 100% lie. And, this, once you start to, this is how your intuition speaks to you, especially if you feel a difference. For some people, I've done that in our intuition workshops here. And for some people, they might see, they have a different color for each one. Some people like to feel their body, like, when they speak the truth, they really feel like a smile coming as relaxed. As they tell themselves a lie, they really feel like, like a contraction and just like, ugh, like a yucky feeling sort of thing. And how can you apply that, right, in real life? Because you can use this. This is how your intuition is showing you what is the truth and what is the lie, or what is not true, let's say, or doesn't serve the best purpose for you. Maybe when you're making decisions, right? We grew up in school to learn how to use logic to make decisions, which is great. But I find that actually a lot of people, when we talk about intuition, your intuition comes through when you're making a decision. And so, using your intuition to make decisions, maybe you have 2 different decisions or a couple more, and you can tune into this, same thing, especially now, which is like the truth kind of feels to you. You can imagine maybe visualizing yourself into like scenario A, you're doing whatever that is scenario A is, and kind of feel like, how do you feel in that? And then, kind of erase that and go into scenario B, imagine yourself in scenario B, and it's like, how do I feel about that?
And if you are one of those persons that are not familiar with feelings because you use your mind mostly, so there is this division between mind, logic, and feeling. It's not that one is better than the other, but of course, instead of asking, what do I feel, or how do I feel, it's what am I thinking now? What does it make sense to me? If you are used to use your mind and your logic more than your feelings, you can adapt those questions with what am I thinking right now? What is, and I'm about to say what am I feeling, because I am a feeling person. What does it make sense to me in this moment?
Yes.
And I know, now I started, it's very difficult to stop me. And I know that for some of you, myself included, the time that we had together for this meditation was a little short.
Yeah.
But of course, you can use this video, and in the future, you can press play, you can start meditating, and then you can stop. And of course, you can make it lasting longer.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I was going to say, like, when am I thinking doesn't make sense to me, that is also in a way a feeling, making sense. How does that feel to you? That's, everybody has their own sort of stuff, but I really like you put it that way too. So back to the exercise, this is a really good way you can apply to, if you have decisions you want to make, or maybe, if you want to, develop a discernment, right? Like, want to not find out, but like, sometimes somebody tell you something, you're like, I'm not sure, does it really resonate with me or not? So, you can use this, tap into it. And that is actually from Sandra Ingerman, you remember, the shamanic teacher we're talking about, in one of her online courses. She said, for her, because she didn't use this method, but working with her intuition. So whenever she knows, that's something that's aligned with her truth, she's going to see the green light, and then if something's not aligned with her truth, it's just a sort of red light that kind of comes up in her head. And so for her, it's very easy, the more we practice again, the easier it gets to connect with our intuition. Yeah,
we all have these signs. For example, for me, when I know and I feel that something is right, is really for me, I have shivers only in my right arm, and I see the colors. So this is a synesthesia, which means two different sensorial perceptions, okay? And I see the colors, they are brighter. When I don't see brighter colors or something, okay, maybe I should put it like that aside.
Yes, and sometimes just have to wait. Like for me, the more now I know, like for example, if I'm so much, like am I thinking back and forth something, and I knew, like I can feel so much in this space, and I still can't decide, like I don't know yet, like it's not right, but I'm still like pinging between A and B.
Yeah.
It just means you have to wait sometimes. Sometimes the intuition is not A and B, it's C, but C is not now until later. So sometimes you have to wait, and then options, and then you'll be like, oh, there's actually an option C or even option D, and that's the right one to go with. So sometimes it is to be patient. Remember day one is all about patient. And I do want to add this: the more we practice trusting our intuition, the more, because intuition works very subtle as well, right? So the more we trust our intuition and see how, when we trust intuition, what happens. That's the evidence that your brain needs, right? Your mind needs to know that you can trust your intuition. Sort of like a snowballing thing. You start to pay attention to intuition, and the brain is like the evidence for the brain to say, hey, I can trust my intuition. This works. Let's try next time. Or next time when I did not trust my intuition, trust me. It still happens to me now. Like sometimes, like, I have this, it comes very subtle, because sometimes like, it was like this voice telling me, like, even just getting something ready, and I'm like, no, I don't need it. And then like later I'm like, oh, I should have listened to like my, that intuition that came through, like, which is a small thing. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Feel free to leave, comments below. Let us know how that was for you, when you speak a truth or a lie, or when the trust or distrust, and how does it feel? And I often say, like, because intuition, it speaks to us all in a different, unique way. And that's why I'm saying, we go through all the five senses. In fact, we're talking about the psychic senses here. It's not because you actually really see a red light or green light, but it's kind of more in your mind's eye. And so for some people who are really visual, like Susanna, she's super visual, right? So she will see, like, the image. For some people...
Movies.
HD movies, but for some people they are not, and just want to say, put it out there as well, if you're not visual, it doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Trust your senses.
Yeah, it's just you have a different dominant sense, and
Yes.
just kind of really have to trust. Maybe it's more like a body sensation for you, maybe it's more like an auditory, comes in more
What
like a
words
hearing.
you tell yourself, what signals, signs you get from the outside.
And some people, they might even get like that smell or taste. So really trust you are not going crazy. Just really trust your intuition, and that's your psychic senses talking.
In Italy, we have a saying, when there is something that we do not trust completely, or we feel that the situation is not clear, this is visual. We have also the saying that says, it stinks.
Oh yeah.
Which, of course, it doesn't.
Something.
It doesn't stink physically, but it's I don't like that smell, because it's a more of another sensorial perception, another way of perceiving the thing.
You're right. Like when English, when say people say it's something fishy here.
Yes,
it's
exactly. Yes, exactly.
Something is like fishy here. That's your intuition telling you something.
Yeah.
As you can see, we love intuition. It's already like almost 30 minutes. But please,
but
Susanna,
I have
your tips of the day.
Okay, you were talking about options, and of course for this time I have a lot of options. But one in particular, because I have 12 tips of the day, but one in particular which has been scientifically proven, and science, not recently, but they've demonstrated that trust can be altered, can be increased by simply working on the levels of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone, and we naturally produce oxytocin. And there is the tip number 1 to promote oxytocin, which is, sorry, can I do that?
Yeah.
Hug a person. Sorry, so I can talk. Hug a person for at least 20 seconds. In a complete hug, and of course not talking, by simply staying and breathing and hugging a person for at least 20 seconds. Thank you.
That was so nice. Thank you.
Thank you. What happens is that the brain waves of the two brains, they start getting attuned, and this will increase the level of oxytocin. So thank you for being my oxytocin dispenser.
Thank you.
And you can do that, and you can hug. Of course, it works also if you hug yourself. It works better if you hug another person. Now, in these COVID moments, maybe you will not feel very much pushed into hugging somebody outside. You can hug the people you live with, your partner, your
parents,
sons and daughters, your relatives, or safe friends that come visit you. And if you don't have somebody that you want to hug, or somebody that you don't trust hugging, how could you increase your levels of oxytocin? By simply doing some of those activities, which are all scientifically proven to raise the levels of oxytocin. Meditate. Try yoga or listen to music.
So that's really good. Like if you're living alone.
If you're living alone.
Like yoga, music, meditation.
And meditation. Or you can get or give a massage. You can tell someone how much you care for that person. You can spend time with friends. You can do something for somebody else, which is also related to volunteering or really helping somebody, doing something for them. And cuddle or hug a person, and hug a pet. Especially a dog, like pet a dog, because there is this beautiful interaction between human beings and dogs, and that will increase the levels of oxytocin. So you have many choices. You can also cook and eat cook something and eat with someone. And yeah, these are all activities that involve a sort of a social activity, or to do something that can sort of calm and tranquilize us, like for example meditate or do yoga or listen to some good music. And all of them will increase the levels of oxytocin, which on the other hand will help raising our levels of trust.
Thank you. And that's also
welcome.
like bonding in a way, isn't it?
Yes.
Like with other people,
Yeah,
but also
yeah.
with yourself, like a connecting,
Yeah.
a deep connection.
Yeah, of those 12 activities, there are 3 at least that can be done by ourselves. And all the others they involve another person, which tells me that as human beings, we are social beings.
Yes.
And that's where, because we have to go back to when we were living in caves, and the power of the group, the power of the social bonding was very important.
Which is
power
tomorrow.
of community.
Which is tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. I have to talk about that.
That'll
So
be
it's
day
just
10.
a little,
Yeah.
I'm just dropping
Dropping.
something. So the power of community
Yes.
was, as demonstrated, to be very helpful for the progress and for the evolution of human beings.
Yes. And it starts with trust, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? And trusting yourself, trusting people like outside of you,
Yeah.
Having faith, and that's also really having faith something on the outside as well.
So if you can, go out, hug somebody and you trust.
That is safe for you, wherever you're
That
living
is safe for you.
Yes.
Or if you have a dog, please pet your dog. Do something, and maybe we could write all those tips. So maybe in the space, or maybe
in the
you
comments.
can have them later.
Yes.
And that's
we'll
it.
do. All right. Thank you so much. We're
Thank
wrapping
you so
up.
much.
And we will be back here tomorrow. Again, same thing, 2:30, our day 10, which you already know, community.
Yeah.
Again, leave us comments below, how today's exercise has been for you, or you have any, how the theme of trust kind of unfolds in your life, or becomes like a reminder. It's always nice to hear from you guys. So thank you so much for everybody tuning in.
Thank you so
and
much.
we'll see you tomorrow at 2:30.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.